Irv Gotti thinks Drake is ruining rap. What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. X DMX. Irv Gotti said he might just go out and find him a young DMX and take the game back over because what Drake's spitting ain't it. He basically said that what he's seeing with Drake's music and the Drake influence is turning rap super soft. And he think we need another X right now, another DMX before this gets too far out of hand. So I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say about this. First of all, Irv Gotti. Shout out to Irv Gotti for what he has done in the rap game. With artists such as Ja Rule and Black Tie and the whole Murder Inc. staff, I believe. Who else is on Murder Inc.? I don't even remember too many more people. Did I say Ashanti? Whoever else was on Murder Inc. right now, it was a bigger staff than I'm giving the names for right now. It was a bigger thing at the time, right? And they had their run. DMX was not on Murder Inc., but he was affiliated with them. And DMX was one of the greatest ever. I remember when DMX first came out, Get At Me Dogs. Get At Me Dog, I'm sorry. And one of the illest videos I ever seen in my life. That was one of the videos that changed the entire game. Like when Slam came out with Onyx. I mean, when Onyx came out with Slam, changed the entire game of rap. Like everybody wanted to all of a sudden they wanted to do not Slam, I'm sorry, Throw Your Guns in the Air. When Onyx came out with Throw Your Guns in the Air, that video made everybody want to tote guns. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. When they came out with Throw Your Guns in the Air, it was so anti everything. Throw your guns in the air, buck buck. It was like the most grimiest stuff you could imagine. That was what that song was to us back when it came out. And when it first came out, we didn't know what to think. We was like, these dudes is bugging. These dudes is crazy. Like, it's like, man, these dudes, it's gotta be fake. This is some fake rap stuff. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes wasn't faking. They really was about throwing them guns in the air. And it became an anthem. It was rebellious against everything. Now we just took it at face value. It was some street shit, and they was just, you know, on some we gangsters and we gonna do what we do, right? Throw your guns in the air, bucket in. We don't care. It's whatever the consequences is. That's what DMX was. Get At Me Dog was the grimiest thing, and we had. If you was underground, you seen that already, but nobody had seen that outside of underground, right? You never seen a guy with just a mic and just like, you know what I'm saying? That's stuff you did in underground rap, but they brought that underground, that raw, gritty feel to the mainstream because they had the money to do so. Def Jam backed it. Rough Riders had the distribution deal or whatever they had going on with a major, and the world took to it, and he took the world by storm. So much so, he dropped 2 platinum albums in the same year, which was never done before. Nobody had ever dropped 2 different albums, and they both went platinum in the same year. That's just record labels won't even let you do that. They won't even let you try to do that. They're like, you're not going. The little bit of money we made on the first one, we're not going to lose it on the second. But he did it, and he controlled the game, took it by storm, and it was very aggressive. It was very. I don't want to say it was angry, but it was also controlled anger to a degree, and it wasn't just unbridled rage. It was focused. It was like he focused on stuff, and it just he went at it a certain way, and it made everybody pay attention to what he was talking about. It was very street, very real, and we gravitated to it. But nothing really commercial about it, and even when he did a commercial song, quote unquote, it still was gritty. He did gritty commercial songs. He was really good at making a really gritty song, really still catchy. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. You throw that on anywhere, they gonna start dancing. That's a wedding song. You can do that at any wedding. You throw that song on at the reception, and everybody gonna jump up. It's the angriest lyrics ever. It's the most harshest. Like it's like beat you, shoot you. Like it's the most hardest stuff you ever gonna hear. But people love it. They love. He somehow captivated because his style was just that good, and it was just that amazing, right? So Irv Gotti is saying we're losing all those gains that we got with a DMX. We are losing all of the hip hop edge with this all this house that Drake is putting out, right? He's putting all this sing-songy stuff out, and we're losing ourselves with it as a culture. And I got a lot to say about that. I understand what he's trying to say. I'm gonna be honest. I understand what he's trying to say. If you take it for face value, if you feel that Drake is that much of control of hip hop, if he does keep doing this house stuff or whatever, all the soft singing stuff, it would control the culture to a degree. It will shape it and make it into what he more so stands for, as opposed to what the real culture, for lack of a better word, entails, right? But I don't think Drake shapes it like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Drake, he gets a whole bunch of people dancing to his music, and a lot of people enjoy what he does. I don't think he's shaping hip hop negatively when he does his music. Because at this point, if you don't know Drake sings love songs, then you've been living on an island somewhere. Drake been singing love songs for 10 years. So I don't know how all of a sudden this album is going to defame and demoralize the hardcore hip hop. If people going to continue to do hardcore hip hop, have you heard of drill music? Yeah, I don't think that's going nowhere right now. And I don't think that this hardcore undercurrent is going anywhere. Because for one, you cannot be too soft when you really live in that lifestyle day to day. I'm just going to be honest with you. And there's going to be a whole lot of dancing around in house slippers and just, you know what I'm saying, just doing a whole lot of suspect moves all day, and you still want to be a hardcore rapper. It doesn't work like that. So the simple fact, I don't believe the implications of what he's saying, that Drake is destroying hip hop. I understand what he's trying to say. And in theory, he is right to a degree, right? He's saying it's not helping the cause to keep real hardcore hip hop alive. I get that. But I don't think Drake's influence is as heavy as he thinks it is. Drake's influence is going to be already for the people that want to rap like that, already doing that. You're not going to change hardcore villains all of a sudden. Now they're going to start going doing house records because Drake did it. It's not going to happen, right? And Drake even put that song at the end of the hardest song, one of the hardest songs, you know what I'm saying, that came out, is the joint with him and 21 Savage. That's on the same album. So at the end of the day, I think this album was a one-off. This is what he wanted to do. I believe that it was conceived really quickly. I think they had a real good night in Ibiza somewhere or whatever, and they was just gassed up on making some house music. I don't think this album was a long time in the planning. I really, really don't. And it don't sound like it to me. I got a whole review coming up on my channel about this album, right? And I will talk more in depth about that. But Irv Gotti, in my opinion, is doing a publicity stunt. I believe everything Irv Gotti says and does is calculated, which is what you're supposed to do when you're in the public eye as a public figure and you want to make money. I believe Irv Gotti has a bunch of artists already lined up that he's trying to promote, because I feel like Irv Gotti went on to Drink Champs a few months ago begging Nori and DJ EFN to let young artists on the show, and then goes on to say he has some young artists. So I'm like, why would they let young artists on here? This show is not for young artists. He's going on and on and on about you guys should bring the young, the youth. Don't do that. That show not for that. And everybody gonna start turning off that show. The reason that show has been popping for at least 5 years now, Drink Champs, is because they put older artists on, and the older people want to hear what the older artists have to say. They revive careers, right? And they're making people relevant again. Don't start this. Though these young kids don't have the story. You're talking about a 50-year-old man versus somebody that's 21 years old. They don't have the story. They didn't even figure this stuff out yet. They don't have enough engaging conversation. They still running up on each other for chains, right? They don't have enough going on mentally to sit down and have a real interview without a bunch of fronting and a bunch of like trying to be tough, because they still got to be out here, right? Look how some of these guys act in these interviews. They barely talking. They don't really have much conversation. They mad guarded because they worried about their image. Nobody wants to see that. So no, we don't need to keep anything lit for young people. They got their own platforms. It doesn't need to be Drink Champs or nothing else. And that's why I think Irv Gotti is saying this, because he said, I'm gonna get a young artist and mold them. I'm gonna bring out the next. I'm gonna find him. But he already found him. He knows who he wants. He got his young artist already. So it ain't about finding a young artist. He's setting it up so they can say, well, then who do you think is next? Then Irv? Then you're gonna say, my man right here, Killer Spiller. Whoever it is over there standing to the side, right? Publicity stuff. I think that there is a there is a clear motive in hip hop since day one. Nas said it best: to be the king, you got to kill the king, right? He said Jay-Z came to kill me because he knew he had to, or he was never going to be the king. That's why he felt like Jay went and took a swing at him with the takeover and all this other stuff, right? Even though Lois kept, Nas struck first. But end of the day, they're feeling like, meaning Irv Gotti and whoever else is in his team, this is the time, if there's any time to strike, with Drake dropping this full-on house album that got everybody so divided, now he's vulnerable, right? You got to know how these people think. You got to think, if they're like waiting on a mistake, they waiting on a end, and you drop a house album that's 50-50, lukewarm response, and people start saying, I don't know, this ain't really it, boss, right? You got people that really love the album, but most people that love this album, let's be honest, they're not real hip-hop heads like that. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Most people that now you may say, I'm a hip-hop head, and I like, well, that's great. But at the end of the day, the people really carrying the flag for this album are more so mad mainstream lovers. They love mad big records and huge numbers and sales week and all, those kind of people. And they love the chill out music, the damn lo-fi, all this. They want music to just kick back to, right? Which is fine. But the people that are upset about this are people that don't listen to lo-fi. They don't listen to house. They wanted to hear bars. And so it's like a fumble to them. So guess what? Irv Gotti's like, oh, he fumbled with my people. Now, if I jump in, I can make him my people again. He fumbled it. So I can prop myself up. If I say this crazy thing, right? Say something crazy, obnoxious, just weird. He's talking to TMZ. He had his slavery as a choice moment. He said it. Boom. It went viral. Everybody's talking about it. So end of the day, Irv Gotti just got his viral moment. And now let's see what artist comes out of nowhere, random artist, Slippy McGee or whoever gonna come out, right? Because I believe this comment was a publicity stunt. He knows that nobody's gonna go start doing house music because it's Drake. But it just sounds good to a lot of rappers. It's like what they call it, when you sell wolf tickets and it's like, it's fear mongering. Oh, I can scare these people up. Oh, if we give, they're gonna take our music from us. They're gonna take our guns. Like, it's like to scare the hip hoppers into looking at what he got going on over here. It's sleight of hand, in my opinion. I think that this is his one time to actually take a crack at Drake, and he did it. Let's see if it works. I don't think it's gonna work at all. I don't think whatever he try to do next is going to work. And I get his passion. If you watch the video, he's mad passionate. Because if my children, like, what I'm saying? He's mad passionate. It means the world to him. It means everything to him, which is fine. And I get that. And we all feel like that about our music. But I do not think Drake is the gatekeeper of all things hip hop. So to say it is, to insinuate it is disingenuous. Right? It's just disingenuous. These kids are doing whatever they want. And damn sure ain't no house music, right? So let me know what you think in the comments, man. Is Irv Gotti tripping? Is he right? Should we stand up for hip hop and get back to basics? Like, what I'm saying? Hip hop ain't going nowhere. People still writing hardcore raps. If you go online and look halfway, you're gonna find every kind of hip hop you want. It's all out there, from the house music to the grimy music and all that in between. It's all there, right? This is just like smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Every Wednesday night, I'm on Clash the Podcast with Dante, Fliz, and TJ. We are on all my social media platforms live. You can check that out. We do rap. We talk about number hip hop events, things going on in the hip hop community, and we find it to be pretty entertaining. Check that out. CLBMG.com. Go check that out. EssentialVarieties.org. Go over there and check that out. Got all the things you need for your necessities, your toiletries and things like that. Things for your sex life, all these different things. All right, catch me on the flip side. I'm gonna check them comments to see what y'all got to say about Irv Gotti and Drake. All right, peace.
CLB.